Hey, everybody. How are you? No, really, how are you? I hope you're doing great and you're getting out and doing fun things. My husband and I just booked a trip to Mexico, our first vacation in 3 years. Hopefully, you have some fun plans as well since the world is opening up again. We have an awesome guest today. She is so unique. Her name is Didam Chatalolu, and she is the president and CEO of Direxion. Direxion is a Canadian high-tech company. It's been around for about 20 years, and they do financial modeling. They serve industries like utilities and the energy sector. And today we're talking about B2B customer experience for software companies. We're talking about related customer experience issues that impact software B2B companies like customer success, digital transformation. We also learn about Didam's advice for utility companies. Didam is the CEO and president of Direxion. Can't leave that out. And she is really unique because there aren't that many female CEOs in the energy sector. I know you'll enjoy our chat. Let's get to it. Didam, welcome to the Modern Customer Podcast. I am so happy to have you. Where are you calling in from today?
Hi, Blake. Very happy to be here as well. I'm calling in from Montreal, Canada.
Okay, so that's why you're still wearing a sweater. I assume it's cold today.
It is cold and gloomy, a little bit of rain. So yes, we're surviving.
Okay, awesome. So you are in one of my favorite sectors, which is the energy sector. For our audience that are listening and watching and don't know you, can you give us the elevator pitch of your career journey and how you came into this role?
Of course, I can. So I started my career in technology, and I was working in software development as a software engineer. And then I started developing this passion for business and kind of understanding the users for technology and how important it was to really also pay attention to that part of solving technical problems. So I did my thesis I did my MBA in IT and technology, and part of my thesis was about helping organizations better serve their users and their employees. And that's when I really started developing my passion for customer experience. So since then, I've been working for organizations that are technology providers to different industries, but really have a focus on excellent in customer experience.
Awesome. Well, I love that. So you're really an academic at heart. Tell us about Direxion and what is it?
So Direxion Technologies is a Montreal-based company. We've been around for 2 decades, and our DNA is all about helping our customers make better decisions. So there's a lot of decision analytics, and we do financial modeling. So we serve the asset-intensive organizations, industries. So we work with utilities, infrastructure, transportation, and cities, and help their leaders make better decisions for the future.
That is such an interesting topic because in the last 2 years, there's been so much movement in cities, whether it was the exodus of cities or the change in the way people get themselves around the city. A lot of people avoided public transportation. So there's been so much change. Did you feel a change in your business because of what was happening, this butterfly effect all over the world?
Absolutely. And what we've noticed is that the organizations we work with, the leaders especially, they came to us and they're going through this change and they were looking for answers, a better way to handle and manage this change. And we started working with them to reposition their strategy and focus on how they can do these transitions. And it's transportation, but also it translates into clean energy transition as well. So I have to say that at COVID, you would expect things to quiet down, but it was the opposite. There was a lot of those new things that they needed to manage that we need to jump in and give them visibility to make better decisions.
So financial modeling, I mean, that is a tough thing to do. Is that something that you've been doing for many, many years?
Academically, absolutely, we had to do that. I took some engineering classes, so you always have to appreciate net present value, meaning you need to know what the impact of your decisions in the future, bring them to the net, present value, and then see how your decisions, different options, compare to one another. So it kind of translated into my career when I worked with different organizations. But here at Direction, it's very key to how we help our clients, the decision makers at our clients, giving that visibility because when you work with industries and the utilities and all of that, they build a lot of the infrastructure and maintain it. But we're able to bring that financial perspective to that consideration. So it's really coming back full circle, if you will, in my career at this organization.
Yeah, so you work with companies in tough industries. Like I would say energy is a really tough industry. It's very complicated. And even on this podcast a few weeks ago, we had the CEO of an innovation. I wouldn't say it's an energy company, but it's a company helping to expedite the use of clean energy. It's a complicated area. Can you talk about what it means to you to be customer centric as you serve these industries that can go through very, very difficult times according to sometimes things are out of their control. So how do you continue this customer centric approach no matter what's happening for them?
I think the way we do that is by partnering with them. So we need to recognize that it's a journey, and through that journey, there's going to be a lot of changes coming our way and their way. So we need to be open to the fact that sometimes we're going to need to shift strategies and priorities with them. So I think that's really important for us, and it's served us really well. And that means that we need to build relationships with our clients. So as a technology provider, you would think that we're all about technology. Absolutely we are, and that's what we provide, but majority of our focus is about connecting with our customers, understanding their business needs, and bring it back to our team of great talented people and bringing that into the technology solution. So that's been our formula for a very long time. And that's one of the reasons why I joined this company. I said, as a leader, I'm very passionate about bridging the gap between business and technology. And is this a place I'll be able to do that? Absolutely. And that was one of the reasons why I joined this company in the middle of COVID.
Oh, okay. So you joined in the middle of COVID.
Yeah.
Can you talk about customer success? I mean, I know you're CEO and president, you probably have a customer success team. Can you just talk about some of the challenges of running a customer success team and how you've overcome them as a business?
So it's we empower people at Direction, and we everyone knows that we all need to take care of our customers. So it goes all the way from sales to delivery and technical support. Because we empower the employees to do that, whenever they have challenges, we're there to support them. So that's my job as a leader. But also at the executive leadership position that I have, I make sure that I connect regularly with the executives of our customers. And the point is not to just ask them how we're doing, are we delivering them good quality service, but also understand their businesses. I think empowering communication and conversations at different levels of the organizations with our customers really helps us understand their needs and be able to better serve them. I think it's the philosophy and the approach that we have.
A lot of people ask me about customer success. I actually don't have a lot of experience with customer success because my experience was mostly in customer service. Can you talk about what customer success, what the team looks like, and how you measure their success?
Absolutely. So maybe I can tell you a little bit about how the journey starts, right? If typically everybody knows about sales and marketing. This is where you get the attention of a prospect or a client. But customer success is all about customer retention and the value outcome for the client. So this team is absolutely dedicated in making sure that once the client chooses our technology, it's all about the adoption It's all about leveraging the technology to get their business outcomes and continuing to use it and giving us feedback to improve our technology so we have this long-term relationship. And I think a lot of people know this in the industry. We all use NPS, which is a great indicator in my opinion. Fred Reichel did an amazing job setting the foundation for everyone to be, to have access to that. We use that, but also encourage that we always have to look at the long-term relationship with the clients, and that's what the mandate for the customer success team is.
So, customer success, part of that is digital transformation. It's solving traditional problems with technology. Didam, can you share your digital transformation, at least since you've been with the company during COVID, and what was that like?
I think as we are a technology company, we're very used to looking at solutions and technologies that are available to us to do our jobs better. But I know one of the things that we do really well here is that when we have technology needs, products and solutions that we need, we make our decisions very quickly. Once we choose the product, we move forward very quickly, and we make sure that everybody, all the stakeholders that are going to be implicated, are aware, communicated, and they're part of the implementation, and they have a voice. So that really helps and serves us work internally, and we translate that to our interactions with our customers. So, what I mean by that is, as a technology provider, we have to recognize that our technology is not standalone. It has to integrate with all of the other technologies the customers have, especially if you talk about utilities. They have the grid that they're maintaining and managing, and they have a lot of technologies to do that operationally. So we need to always understand that our technology is connecting with their existing technology stack, getting a lot of data and information, and doing the analytics and providing back the results for them. So that means that we need to also partner with our customers for that digital transformation journey. And how do they need to change and evolve internally? And what does that journey look like? Oftentimes, we need to advise them what's coming and what they need to do proactively to prepare for that transition.
Energy companies, utility companies, they are very slow to change. They often are working in outdated tools. They often don't invest heavily in the contact center. What would you say the utility companies that do digital transformation well, or your clients overall that do digital transformation well, as you kind of do your own digital transformation, what is it that they're getting right about using the technologies?
I think if I can say this, I strongly believe that technology is about 20% of the solution, 80% is about the people. So when anyone is going through a digital transformation, they need to look at that from the perspective of the human beings and how that impacts them, how that changes their world and their processes. So if your objective is to bring efficiencies to these people, you need to include them in the discussions when you're choosing and evaluating a technology. And you need to start the conversations earlier on to understand how the processes will change and how it will improve their lives. So if you can plan with that along the way with the technology selection, I think it will have a successful story. Another thing that I noticed is, as a leader, when I talk to our prospects or customers, that they have acquired technologies, not 100% of the time they're able to leverage the technology. So we also take it upon ourselves to find ways to leverage as much of the technology, the solutions they have already available, and complement it with our solution. Because at the end of the day, if we can bring more value for the customers, it's better for them.
Absolutely. So you mentioned, Didam, you mentioned the word efficiency and what is effective for the customer. How are they finding what is effective for the customer? Or perhaps you can share how you find what is effective for your customers, because you probably know what's happening with your utility company customers and their customers. So when we talk about effectiveness, what does that mean to you?
So, as as I mentioned before, it's all about the value it creates for the businesses. So at the beginning of our journey with our customers, we look at the big picture and we try to really understand what is it that they're trying to get out of this initiative. So every step along the way in our delivery, in our planning, we're always keeping that end goal in mind. So by the time we finish our projects or implementation of the technology, we're always referring back to that original goal that we had identified together to make sure that we're meeting that. And our philosophy is always when we deploy our technology and our solution, it's not just about the implementation, it is the continued adoption and evolution of the solution. So it's a very dynamic relationship that we continue to work together to make sure that it's progressing positively. And that's where the customer success team plays a key role to make sure that relationship continues beyond just selecting a technology, implementing it. It's way beyond that. It's for the long term.
Right, right. And I mean, how often are you checking in on like customer experience, on the metrics? Is that every day or is it once a week, once a month?
So with our customers, I guess I look at the customers like an ecosystem, right? We have the companies that are our customers, but then they have customers, which are the consumers or the end users. So at Direction, we actually think about all the way to the our customers. So I have great conversations with the leaders, and we always try to find ways to help them in that journey. So even though my customers are the utilities or the cities, I also have to have conversations with them about their customers. So that allows us to look at that, holistic picture, and I understand the KPIs. Just to give you an example, one initiative we're working on is for the utilities. Um, you know, it's changing. There's clean energy. There's going to be options for the consumers. So one of the initiatives we're helping with is what can we do so that we can empower the utilities to connect with their consumers better and understand their behavior, their choices, and so that the utility can better build relationships with them, build loyalty with them, so that when there's change and competitors and other options for the consumers, they are more likely to stay with them because they've already built this trust relationship. So we're looking to work with their marketing teams to better get that insight analytics so that the utility decision makers have better visibility to and better prepare for what's coming for them, right? So I think that really puts us in a really unique position. By advising our customers, which are the companies, we're also advising with them for their end users and customers.
And you are obviously talking about customer experience. You're the CEO. That can be rare where the CEO really isn't the chief experience officer, isn't the main advocate. Would you say that you are unique in your industry as, like, in a way, being the chief experience officer?
I have met other leaders in the past, but I would have to agree with you that it's not very common. I do take pride in it personally. That customer experience is really really key. This is as I said, every leader should be thinking about that because customers is what makes us successful. And so as a leader, I'm very invested in that in the company. I encourage everyone to be thinking with the customer experience in mind. So we have a program at our company. It's called CXA. It's the Customer Experience Ambassadors. So we have a group of people that get together and have a platform where they talk about customer experience from different disciplines, right? And I am so amazed with the conversations and the ideas that come out of that forum. So I sponsor that. I'm part of that conversation, but I do a lot of the listening. I let them do most of the talking. And then we also invite customers into that forum, and we invite candidates that are interviewing with our company. So really looking at all of the different angles. And what's really amazing is that having that different disciplines come together in a very fun environment There's so many great ideas. And I see how they cross learn from each other. And I think that's going to really help us bring up really great ideas for the customer experience.
That sounds amazing. I imagine it is, you said it's a platform. So is that like a social networking group or Zoom videos? What does it look like?
We get together on Teams. This is the platform that we have. So we have a collaboration area. So we try to keep it as unstructured as possible because we want to welcome ideas. We want people to be very innovative in that forum. So we just kind of come back, oh, in the last little while, this is the article I read. This is a great idea. This is how we can apply it. And when we listen to a candidate that's going through interviews with us, we listen to their experience. It just gives us so much insights and ideas to do things better. I always tell the team, if we can improve things 1% at a time, the compound effect will be tremendous. So, and they're doing a great job, and it's just a privilege for me to watch that in action.
I'm curious, most companies, if they're interviewing candidates, Didem, they wouldn't invite them into proprietary areas of the business
Yeah.
because they don't work for your company. Maybe they're interviewing with other companies. They would take that knowledge somewhere else. So what's the reasoning or thinking behind having candidates take a peek into the customer experience?
I think it's about transparency, and we have to trust that people are very professional. So the conversation we have with them is we want to hear their experience about their interactions with us and what they appreciated, what they would have preferred better. And they know that when they have people that are there listening to them, and we're giving them a voice, right? They're going through this experience with us. We're giving them a voice to be able to tell us how that journey is going. It really brings it back to a human level. And as I say to everyone, even if a candidate doesn't end up working with us today, there's a chance they might come back tomorrow. And I want everyone that interacts with our brand to really have a great experience. And we can only do that by listening to others. So this is the reason why we're doing that. So far, it's been great. So I'm sure we'll continue that.
It sounds really interesting. And they say that today's companies need to up level the entire industry that they're in, not just focus on their own company. So I think that's an interesting example of that. If you had one message to give to the utility industry and all that support it related to customer experience, what would that message be?
I think it would be to get closer to their clients and customers and listen to them because they have great insights and ideas, and give them a voice and be able to leverage that into their strategic planning and what they want to do next for their clients. And I know it's not easy. I completely appreciate that, but hopefully with technology available in the next little while, we're going to be able to do that a lot easier.
That's a very fair answer. Well, right now I'd like to switch gears and have a little fun and take part in a rapid fire round. Are you ready for your first question?
I am.
All right, Didem, you are stuck on a desert island. You have access to water, but you can bring one other food and one other drink. What are they?
It would have to be sushi and some wine.
Sounds good. What is your most embarrassing work moment?
Um, it would have to be the time maybe if I've just started a company and I met 50 people that day and somebody comes back and says hello and I can't remember their name. I feel terrible because people are very important to me, but we usually make up later on and we become good friends. So it's never that bad. But at that moment, I feel really, really bad.
Yeah, that's a tough one. If you could have lunch with anyone, dead or alive, who would it be?
I think it would have to be my grandfather. Because I lost them very early on in my life, but I've learned so much from him and without him teaching me. So I still, to this day, I reflect on the things the conversations I've had with him and what I've learned from him. He was such a visionary. I'd love to have lunch with him again.
That's wonderful. What is one tool that you used for personal growth and self-development during COVID?
Podcasts.
Okay. Me too.
Yes, it was wonderful. Yeah.
All right, awesome. Well, this has been so fun. I have loved interviewing you for the Modern Customer Podcast. You're on to great things, so I wish you all the success in the world transforming an industry that needs so much help. And hopefully you'll come back someday.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Yes, I'd love that. Thank you.
All right, everybody, you've been listening to and watching the Modern Customer Podcast. If you have a moment, head over to iTunes and leave me a review for the Modern Customer Podcast so more people will find this growing show. Thanks for watching. Until next time.